Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast. I'm your host, Charles Long, and with me, as always, my co-host, editor, producer, co-pilot, gunner, navigator, orator, and podcasting associate, Jacob Gloth. How you doing today, Jacob?
I am all right, Charlie. I'm excited today because I have an exciting pitch.
He's got an exciting pitch.
You'd hope that you always have an exciting pitch, right? Because that's the goal.
You always hope, but, I know Starry Night wasn't the most exciting of pitches. You have to swings and roundabouts, right? Some pitches are more exciting than others.
Swings and roundabouts. There's ups and downs. There's for every, what was the pitch last week?
Priscilla, Great Mother of the Wastes.
For every Priscilla, Great Mother of the Wastes, there's a... insert
Punk
one
rock.
of my bad pitches. I can't think of.
Punk rock vampires. My worst pitch that I've ever done.
Well, I didn't want to do two of yours in a row like that. That'd be rude. I have to do one
fun.
that's good of yours and then one that's bad of mine. But I don't know. The joke.
I can't think of one either.
Under the Plains of Azure was pretty bad, I think.
I liked Under the Plains of Azure. There is a sequel that we need, but that's not this week, I assume.
Yeah. No, it is not. It is certainly not. I haven't.
No. Jake is the king of edging. Yes.
This week we have a pitch that's fun because all pitches are fun, as I said. It is called Haunt World.
Haunt World. I like the name already.
Haunt World. Now the Haunt World is a TV show within a TV show. It's set on Earth in the far future. We're following a group of some aliens, some future humans that are going to Earth. A long wasteland Earth. Yeah. To film a ghost hunter show.
I like this idea. This is fun. That's a fun idea. I like that.
So, now there is a couple of humans. All the humans have the last name Haunt, which is we'll get into it in a second.
Okay.
And the other people are like jelly people that are contained in suits.
Okay. Cool.
It's like
cool.
So we can jelly that you just put in a suit.
Yeah. Well, we can still give them personality because they have physical form. They're not just
their
gelatins.
suits will have faces on them, you can see. But and this is an animated show, except for one character, is in a suit the whole time. We don't really know what they are or not. I'll get into that in a second.
Yeah.
So the first one is James L. Haunt. He's the host of the show. He doesn't really know anything about anything, but he pretends pretty well. He's like a David Attenborough style narrator.
Okay. All right.
This is kind of like an end of career pit stop for him.
Fair enough.
He's not really presently aware of the danger that is going on, and he's usually extremely high and drunk.
As all reality TV show hosts are,
Yes.
in real life.
Yes, obviously. Frank Y. Haunt is his brother. Very daring, clever, funny. He's like Michael Palin mixed with Bear Grylls. So have you ever seen a Michael Palin travel show?
Yeah.
He's funny and able to get along with anyone, but he can also handle any dangerous situation kind of thing.
Okay.
In this situation, Mr. James Haunt is the host, but Frank Haunt is kind of the guy that's carrying the show. James Haunt's the bigger name, but Frank is younger. He's more, he's supposed to carry the show. Then we have Sally Haunt, or Sal Haunt, they call her for short. We'll get into it why, but she's not in the first episode. She's the younger sister.
You do love doing that.
Of the crew.
You love a main character being introduced in the second episode because somebody's been murdered in the first episode. You've done that over a dozen times, I think. And I love it.
Don't call me out too soon here, Charlie. Okay, jeez. She's a chartered accountant. She's actually the second cousin of Frank and James, but for the show's purposes, they call her the younger sister.
Okay.
Never met them in their lives. And she's trying to keep everyone alive while also trying to get the show canceled because she doesn't want to be a part of it. And she's very sarcastic. Then we have Quirb. He's one of the jelly guys. He's the boom guy. He likes to wander off, doesn't pay attention very much, mishears almost everything.
Yeah. And we can
and he constantly
justify
is
that.
suggesting episode titles.
Yeah. And we can justify that by the fact that he doesn't have ears. You know?
Yeah.
Like, he's getting yelled at, like, why didn't I told you to do something? I was like, mate, I don't have any ears. I'm sorry I can't hear you very well. My ears are plugged into the boom mic, and I was listening to two birds having sex over there.
Then we have Frock. Frock is the camera guy. He's really professional. Very, very attention to detail oriented, you know. Cares a lot about what his shots. Then we have Floater. Floater is the assistant camera guy. Always struggles to work the camera, tends to forget how to record or records at the wrong points. Like, you know, like when they're supposed to be recording, he'll turn off the recording, and then when they're not recording anymore, he'll turn it on, and they'll get like a whole sequence of them just like hanging out, like eating snacks or something. They're totally not supposed to be recording at this point. Sometimes forget that he's behind the camera. Like, he'll be staring through the camera, and he forgets that there's like his whole, like his well-being matters as well. Like, so like a monster will be running up to him, and you'll just be like, wow, this is a really great shot I have. I mean, this is really, really good. And then his legs will start getting eaten. You'll be like, oh, fuck, shit, I have to go. Forgot I have to run.
And maybe he can fall out of the suit. Like, I think that would be a funny gag, is if his legs get eaten, and he's like halfway in the belly of this monster holding the camera, and he tosses the camera in the air, like slithers out of the suit and catches it, and just like starts running as a big blob of gelatin. So he's not running, he's more like just scooting across the ground, you know, picking up dust and mites, you know, because he's a big gelatin, just like sucking up the things that are on the ground.
Yeah, I like that. It's good. And then lastly, we have Morrow. Morrow is the director/producer. She's desperately trying to keep the show together. Really only cares about the product, doesn't really care about anybody's well-being.
Yeah.
She's just like hardcore corporate, you know, trying to keep her career together. And she's also kind of in like this is not the place you want to be in your career. She like sort of screwed up before coming here, so that's why she's in charge of this.
She used to be the producer on Galaxy's Got Talent, right? But, you know, after she accidentally got like a space racist on the episode, on, you know, the show, she got fired, right? Something silly like that.
Episode 1 is titled Haunt World. It opens with Quirb suggesting that they call it Haunt World, as they land a pod that is on the edge of a destroyed city in a gray wasteland. Morrow tells him to shut up and asks Frock to set up the shot. Frank is beyond excited and jumps into a poetic monologue about the destroyed landscape in the old city and the ghosts that lie within. So, you know, Frock is getting the shot. Morrow is all excited because she's like, oh, this is really good stuff. And Frank's talking in this great monologue. You know, Morrow's smiling, but she loses her shit when the monologue ends and she sees Quirb is currently booming a frog croaking in a lake.
Yeah.
So he just misses all the sound. He says that he got the sound from the speech, and the frog just adds like a mystical bass to it. And she like doesn't believe him, but you know, whatever. She's got other things on her mind.
We can ADR.
Morrow's like, where the fuck is our host? And is annoyed when Floater says he's still locked in his room. So Morrow sends Frock, Quirb, and Frank, who insists on going as well, though Morrow doesn't want him to like go forward and look for things to shoot. While Morrow goes in and tries to cobble together a wasted and high James Haunt, you know, the host of the show. While she's trying to pick him up and get him together, he jumps into his Attenborough-esque opening sequence, which is the opening of the show, which plays with the title sequence going. So we have this drunken, you know, little like intro as the actual intro plays. And it, you know, reveals that they're on a destroyed Earth. And it's like showing shots of Frock and Frank and Quirb wandering through a leveled New York City, because there's no more ocean, by the way, as well.
Okay, no ocean.
The ocean is just completely gone. It's just wasteland.
But there is lakes.
No lakes.
You just said there was a frog in a lake.
There's a pond.
Okay.
I'll say it's a pond, and it's like an acid pond. It's not like a real pond.
Yeah, it's like a horrible mutant frog. It's like a Simpsons three-eyed, you know, frog that's a different color. That should be.
It's got 4 different, like, lungs or whatever. Anyway.
Yeah.
Morrow finally gets James he gets him out of there with some painkillers and has Floater carry him around. Meanwhile, Frock, Frank, and Quirb are getting another epic monologue over the banks of the river near the Brooklyn Bridge. Quirb is proud that he got this one. He's like, yes, I boomed this one. So they realize his boom was actually switched off the whole time. So he has to turn it back on. And as he's trying to fix it, Frock and Frank descend into the ruins of a building after Frank hears something down there. And Quirb, still trying to fix his boom, has no idea where they went, so he just turns it on and descends into another building. Like, any destroyed building sound is the same.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Morrow, Floater, and James wander throughout the city, trying to speak over the radio to try and get in touch with the rest, but they're like out of range. So they can't figure out where they are. Morrow is talking to herself about how she's they're gonna kill her if this ends up like Hauntland. Like, I mean, come on, Haunt World has got to be it. My whole career is gonna fall apart. Meanwhile, James is narrating constantly about the world around him, just making shit up about humans, and Floater believes every word. Like, oh my god, I can't believe humans did that. Humans did this. Like, this is so weird. He's like, yes, they used to poop ice cream and hot dogs.
I can't believe they used to, remove their teeth as a mating dance. That's so strange and weird. I wonder why people don't do that anymore. And then we can have a callback to that when maybe one of the aliens is trying to pick up a human chick, and he like brings her a necklace made of teeth, and she just gets freaked out and runs away. He's like, "What? I'm sorry. I thought I did it right."
And then Morrow wants him to save the narration for when they're recording, because she's like, we're losing all this good shit right now, and we don't have Quirb here to boom it. And back to Frank and Frock, who are now real deep in this destroyed underground building in a dark area full of skittering creatures. Frank is very heroic, and he sneaks up on a creature and is examining it when it tries to attack him, and he has to calm it with his soothing voice. So he starts singing to calm this creature, and it works out perfectly. He gets away with just a small little bite, but he isn't bothered by it. And this is obviously a great shot that Frock just got here.
Yeah.
But Quirb, who's the boom guy, is still wandering around getting sounds of all these creepy stuff in the buildings, until he finds a bag of chips and is delighted with the taste. He's never had chips before. And this is how we can get sponsor money, Charlie. We get some company that's gonna Lay's or something. Or
get Lay's chips. Lay's, your chips will stay good for 8,000 years.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
He could be like, wow, these chips are still good, and they've been here for so long. And then he holds the logo out and looks at the camera like, aren't they good?
These are delicious. Also, the bag isn't full of air. It's full of delicious potato chips.
There's so many in here. You'd think there wouldn't be that many, but I mean, there's so many. It's crazy.
There's so many. And sour cream and onion. Ooh.
Yep. This is how we make our money, Charlie. This is where it all comes in. It's all about merchandising. Don't care about anything else. It's all about merchandising.
And ad revenue. And that's why we will say yes to any advertisers. Anyone wants to advertise on this show, yes. 1,000 times yes.
The ones we ignored.
Except for all the scammers that try and get us to advertise for them.
Well, that one might not have been a scam. Anyway, he runs back into Frank and Frock and starts booming, but he's crunching on chips the whole time. So not really getting the best sound here. Yeah. Floater, Morrow, and James, they're still out in trying to find them, walking over New York City, and they run into a giant killer snail which traps Quirb in slime, Floater in slime. So Floater, the assistant cameraman, is trapped in slime, and Morrow is probably just gonna leave him there. She's like, we don't really need an assistant camera guy.
Yeah.
And James is casually narrating the whole thing while picking through a destroyed bar. And then Morrow gets trapped as well. So now she's like, okay, now I definitely need to be, we need to be saved here. So she's panicking, freaking out. Like, I can't have another. This is just like Hauntland all over again, she'll say. And Floater, he's able to cut loose using some extra camera gear, but the camera gear is obviously ruined, and though he saves both him and Morrow, she's even more mad at him that he destroyed the camera gear, even though it saved her, and so she says that he's fired as soon as they get back.
That camera gear costs more than, Flirk and
me.
And, well, like Flirk and Blurk put together, you know, something like that.
Yeah.
Some line about capitalism.
Yeah. She says, he's fired, and they regroup with the rest, upset that they didn't film the last fight. But Morrow's happy to learn that Frank and Frock got, like, some good footage. Like, Frock's telling her, like, yeah, I got some good stuff. She says, like, she doesn't know what she'd do without them, when suddenly Frank clutches his bite and transforms into a werewolf, grabs Frock, claws at him, and jumps off into the sunset with him. Yeah. So, Frank and Frock dead.
About as dead as they come.
And tells Floater that he's been promoted, and she tells him to pick up the camera, and they head back to their pod to watch the footage. Mm-hmm. So, just to recap here, Frock and Frank are dead. The two F names.
About as dead as you come.
The only other F name left is Floater. So we had 3 F names to make it confusing, and then the 2 F names die. So we still have James Haunt, the host. We still have Morrow, the producer. We have Quirb, the boom guy. And we have Floater, the only F name left. And he's now been promoted. He was going to be fired. He is now
that main camera
only
operator.
Camera guy.
Yeah.
So, yes, very, very good for him. Not going to get fired.
Good for him. Great. I mean, this job seems awesome. I would so love to work here.
Yeah, it seems good. So, he picks up the camera. They go back to the pod to watch the footage. And here is where we watch all the footage they've got the day. So we see the horrendous speech full of the frog croaking, the random eerie noises that are playing when we can't even hear what what's his name was saying, what Frank was saying. And then when they do finally start hearing Frank speak, we can't even hear him because we just hear chips crunching the entire time. Mm-hmm. And Morrow is just beyond upset. She can't even fire Quirb because he's the only boom guy they have.
Yeah, exactly.
She just wants to die. It's just a complete and utter mess.
Head in her hands, just like, oh my fucking god. I'm stuck with these idiots. If this show's not a success, I'm being sent to the prison world of Pluto. Fuck.
Mm-hmm. Episode 2, we're going to open with, like, the footage that we showed in the last episode that that Frock got before he died, except we have James narrating over it of, like, how his brother died, he valiantly, fought a creature. Yeah. Like, they make it look like he was fighting the creature, that he soothed his voice and just got bit and then turned into a werewolf and died. Mm-hmm. And, they can't use any of the sound they got, so they're just like, it's all just highly edited, and none of the sounds really match up with what you're seeing on the screen. And then, then we pull back and we see that episode's playing on a TV in an office building, and that is where Sally Haunt is working. And all of a sudden, somebody comes up to her and is like, "Hey, I think we need you in conference room B," and she'll walk in to conference room B, and she'll get shot through the floor and end up on a pod and get shot down to sent all the way to Earth. Mm-hmm. Where she lands with Morrow, who explains that, in their finance, Sally worked in the same company that owns this production company's finance division. And in her contract, it basically says that, like, we can force you to work wherever and whenever we want. Mm-hmm. And they saw that she's loosely related to James and Frank. So they're going to put her on this show now. She has to be, like, the co-host. And also, she has to pretend that she's James's sister.
Yeah.
Now,
and then the producer will talk about, like, families, family dynamic that goes over really well with the, ratings board, and Saturn has been loving a brother-sister thing that's going on, another show. We'll make up, Valium TV.
As I said earlier, remember, there's, like, a Haunt Land. So there's, like, this is, like, a brand. Like, there's, like, Haunt Land with the Haunt Brothers. Haunt World with the Haunt Brothers. So they're still going to call it Haunt World with the Haunt Brothers, but it's now the sister. And when she's like, well, this doesn't even work because I'm a girl. And they're like, yeah, we're just leaving the name. People don't really care about that kind of stuff. It's fine. We'll still call it Haunt Brothers. It's okay. And so in this episode, they're going to the bayou, so, like, sort of around New Orleans. So they're going, like, a bayou area and New Orleans. That's kind of what this episode is. And Quirb and Floater. They wander in an old cafe and get wasted with James, where they discover Mardi Gras and decides to throw their own little parade. And they run into a zombie-like swamp beings, but they're so drunk that they don't even notice. And the monsters feed on fear, so the monsters don't even, like, they're not fighting them because they're not afraid of them. So they're just hanging out with these, partying with these monsters.
They do, like, the big Mardi Gras, like, march through the city, and all the monsters, I assume, are, like, New Orleanders, right? Yeah. So they'll be in, like, the funny hats, and they'll all have the beads and everything. You know, that sort of thing. Yeah. There'll be a zombie chick with her shirt off.
Still petrified.
You know, crazy stuff.
I like it. I like it a lot. Meanwhile, Sal and Morrow are stuck in a bog, and they spend the whole episode arguing and slowly dying. So in the beginning of the episode, they're all going to be together when Sal and Morrow get stuck in the bog. And Sal is like, rescue us. And Morrow is like, no, set up a camera and a boom. We need to get this. This is good shit right here. Sal might die. This is really, we need to capture this for the episode. Yeah. And Sal's like, no, Sally, she's like, you got to save me. Like, this isn't funny. Just get me out of here. And so Quirb and Floater set up the camera and a boom to watch them. The zombie things that feed on fear start climbing into the bog to get them. Yeah. And eventually, when it feels like they're gonna die, no one's around, Morrow gives in and uses her suit's jetpack to get them out, which Sal obviously doesn't appreciate that they could have been pulled out this whole time by a freaking jetpack that she had. But that's how the episode ends.
That's television, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another episode idea I had was that in the search for ghosts, they go to Paris to go to the catacombs.
I was going to say catacombs.
All of Paris is underground, so the catacombs are like 2 levels underground, kind of.
Yeah.
So now they wander in search of how to get deeper into the underground, and
maybe they're like.
Cor, by the way, is gone. He's gone to take a holiday to go to his sister's quinceañera. So he tapes the boom to James's back, and so it's just Floater, Sal, James, and Flo. Morrow. Sorry.
Maybe we have like the top level is like normal temperature. Then you get lower into the underground city of Paris, and it's like cold because the deeper you get underground, it gets colder, and so everybody's bundled up in like warm, cold weather gear. And then they get even lower into the catacombs, and you've gotten so close to you've gotten so low that it starts to warm up, and like just throughout this episode, they're constantly changing clothes, and like maybe Morrow is like, no, the network said that cold weather gear would be best, so I'm gonna keep my cold weather gear on, and she's just sweating like a stuck pig in this like sauna catacombs, just reeking of dead bodies and sweat, wearing a big parka while everybody else is in like shorts and t-shirts and stuff. I like that. And what would happen? Would they find a monster? Would there be like a giant homunculus of skeletons and bones?
Even better. So they get to the catacombs, and it's just a bunch of French ghosts. And the French ghosts just talk shit about them because they don't speak French.
Oh, that's fun. I like that.
So it's just they're just getting bullied by all these French ghosts, and until they have to go back to the surface because they're just getting absolutely ridiculed this whole time. And all of them are just kind of disappointed with that whole experience. And when they finally get back to like the real surface, there's a herd of mutated cows that are passing by, and it's like a huge momentous herd that would like kill them if they, it's like stampede. Yeah. So they have to climb on to like the parts of the Eiffel Tower that are still sticking out. And Sal does most of this to save everyone because Floater is like too obsessed with getting a shot. James is narrating and drunk, and Morrow is too obsessed about making sure everyone else is getting the shot of these cows coming in. So Sal is the only one that's actually like saving everyone. That's
interested in maintaining everyone's like heartbeats.
And Morrow is very excited, thinking that like, oh, okay, wait, that episode sucked down there. Like, all that stuff with the ghosts was pretty trash. But this cow thing, these mutated cows, that has saved the episode. This is gonna be amazing. And they get back to the pod to watch the episode, and the whole thing, like the video is good, all the video is great, but all the sound is of a children's party. Quirb had accidentally taped the boom to his own back.
Oh my god.
James's. So it's all just this sound from this children's quinceañera instead of the party.
I like that. I don't want to only do the Wonders of the World, right? That I think has a short shelf life as an idea, but I do think doing a Great Wall of China episode would be great, because that's cool. You could have all the ghosts of the people, right? Maybe Flurb and the drunk guy, what's his name? It starts with a J.
James
L.
Hunt.
James L. Hunt, right? They're like, whoa, this is really crazy. You guys want to get motorcycles and ride it down? Like the two idiots, right, are spending the entire time like trying to figure out a way that they could race down the Great Wall of China because it's huge. Yeah. And Morrow and Sal are dealing with these ghosts that are like, maybe the ghosts are really into like paperwork. That could be the thing. Yeah. It's like they're not annoyed. They're not angry that these people are here filming them. They're angry that they don't have permits from the correct, like establishments. But the correct establishments have been like reduced to dust for the past millennia. Yeah. And so it's just this like battle war of attrition with these ghosts just trying to get like the most basic of shots, and maybe we film the episode kind of like guerrilla movie making style, like we're pretend hiding the cameras in their pockets and stuff, like whenever people film stuff in Disneyland or whatever, right? That sort of thing. That could be a fun episode idea.
I like that. That's good.
Coliseum,
for
of
the
course.
Characters. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Coliseum definitely. We could have some mutated gladiator fighters. That'd be fun.
Mutated, like we could do like who's the guy? It did like Clash of the Titans, right? The like claymation, animator, the really famous guy. I can't remember his fucking name right now.
You're not thinking of Tim Burton, are you?
No, I'm not. It's like the guy who actually did the animation. Did Clash of the Titans. He did Sinbad. He did a bunch of stuff. That Cyclops, the skeletons, whatever. It doesn't matter. We have like
Lawrence
fun.
I mean, he was Zeus. I don't know. The guy, like you're talking about, like the director.
I'm talking. Yeah. Well, now I've got to look it up. So give me 1 second.
While you do that, I was thinking about the potential people that play our lovely characters here. James L. Hunt, he's the most important one. I feel like this is where we put all of our money, actor-wise. This has got to be someone with like a good voice, some narrator, thrill to them. David Attenborough would obviously be amazing. Michael Caine, I feel like, would work as well. We need like some old guy with a good voice. Michael Caine, Harrison Ford, I feel like also works. Just some old guy that looks like he doesn't want to be there. That's why Harrison Ford came to mind.
Harryhausen.
Just like someone.
Sorry.
Harryhausen.
Ray Harryhausen did Jason and the Argonauts in 1963, not Clash of the Titans. That's my fault. But like we get a Ray Harryhausen style like sequence in which we have like gladiators who are stop motion animated like monsters fighting each other, and then our main characters obviously have to fight one another because that's what you do in a Coliseum episode. But back to what you were saying, Michael Caine as James L. Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
What about Sir Patrick Stewart?
Sir Patrick Stewart also works.
Mm-hmm.
It's got anyone that could play like a really good low life but also have a great voice.
Yeah.
I mean, we could also go a little bit outside the book with these, and like you could pick like famous announcers, like you and I will obviously know this voice, but no one else in the world will. I mean, unless you live in Baltimore. The guy that he doesn't do it anymore, but like from like 2000 to 2020, he was the announcer for the Orioles. He has this really great broadcasting voice.
That guy,
I think, would be good. Absolutely
incredible voice.
I can't even remember his name, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, he had a great broadcasting voice. Any like really good soccer announcer like Martin Tyler, Peter Drury would be good as well. But people with a good voice that are older, so they can,
they can kind of have like grizzled tone. Yeah. I like it. What about John DiMaggio, Bender, and Jake.
He would be good too. He'd be good.
Yeah, I think he could be fun because he plays a good low life, but he's just got a great voice.
He does. Yeah, he could nail it as well. He's probably the best choice for this, honestly. Then we have Frank Haunt. Frank's got to be someone that's a little more peppy, a little cooler, but he's gonna die quick.
Yeah.
So I was
Timothy
Chalamet. John Hamm would be okay. Timothy Chalamet. No. Anyone like in their 30s. The guy that currently is about to play Clark Kent. Like what is his name?
That guy. I don't know. He looks great as Superman, but I don't remember his name because
he's got a decent voice too. Can't remember what his name is, but anyway, that guy also works. For Quirb and Frock, these are kind of like the Scooby-Doo characters. You know, this is the Shaggy and Scooby essentially. So we need people that are good comedic actors for them. Maybe comedians for.
Maybe we get Matthew Lillard to play the like Scooby insert, right?
So we could.
I think that could be funny. Yeah. You know.
So Matthew Lillard will play Quirb, and then Floater can be
Conan O'Brien. I'm always casting Conan O'Brien.
Yep, Floater is Conan O'Brien. I think that works perfectly.
Right. Yeah.
The other characters
and
who really
Morrow. What about Cate Blanchett for Morrow?
I think that would be good. I like that.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Because she's got kind of an authoritative voice, but she can be fun. You know, she's got a little bit of comedic edge to her, right? And she's done voice acting before, so I think Cate Blanchett's a good shout.
We're really blowing our money with this budget.
Yeah. And
definitely. Sally, she's a little tougher, you know.
You know what? Let's go for broke with Sal, and let's cast what's her name? She was in Wednesday. That girl, that chick. Jenna Ortega, right? Jenna Ortega's never done voice acting as far as I'm aware, but she's got a good voice. She seems like she could do the like, I'm the serious one, the rest of you guys are idiots sort of thing pretty well, but still have a bit of comedic edge to her.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah. I like the show a lot. Haunt World.
It's fun. Yeah, there's a lot you can do with that. We can do a haunted house episode. We can do, prison. We can do Alcatraz.
You can do anything. Stuff. Anything.
I just really like the idea of having them having to watch like their footage after it, like parts of their and just how shitty it is.
It's just
like
so
how they
terrible.
Just barely scraped together an episode, or like didn't even scrape together an episode.
And maybe if there is a season 2, we could like break the fourth wall a little bit and have Morrow talk about like things that didn't work in season 1. And ostensibly she's talking about season 1 of the show, you know, Haunt World with the Haunt Brothers, but in reality it's us talking about the show and be like, yeah, people didn't really like, you know, Jen Ortega, so we recast her. And, you know, we have a different actress playing Sal, and she's got a slightly different face, you know, but we had just write it off as like, yeah, she got a facial reconstructive surgery. It's also in her contract, so she couldn't really say no. So, yeah, that's
we could also we could also do a if the show if it gets canceled, and we like come back years later, we could do a director's commentary or like get the cast commentary or whatever over the episodes of the cast, doing commentary over the actual in-world episodes.
Yeah, I would like that a lot as like a fun DVD bonus extra.
Yeah,
that's fun.
Yeah, or just a DVD. We don't have to get canceled for that bad. Yeah, DVD bonus part would be good. A commentary over not the actual episodes, over the fake episodes.
No, we never do commentary over the episodes of the show. We only release commentary from like in-character commentary over the in-universe episodes. Yeah, I like that a lot.
I think that's perfect.
I like this whole show idea. I think it's fun, it's light, it's fresh, it's fancy-free. And
that was Haunt World.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what it is.
Yeah, and if you agree, please give us a like, a follow, subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dog, tell your cat. And remember, this has been the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast with me as your host and Jake Gloth as your co-host, editor, producer, co-pilot, gunner, navigator, orator, and podcasting associate. Thank you all very much, and please have a good day, night, and evening.
Goodbye.